Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're going to peel back the layers on a world that, well, it promises fairy tales, but uh, often delivers something much starker. The Bachelor.
Hmm.
You know, the show, the roses, the drama, those big romantic gestures, all set against, like, these amazing, luxurious dates and
Look at
places.
the fantasy version.
Exactly. But underneath all that gloss, what's really going on? What does it actually take to be part of this, huge TV phenomenon?
Yeah.
Our mission today is to really dig deep into all the sources you've given us. We've got insider accounts, chats with former contestants, official rules, production notes, everything. We want to pull out the most important nuggets of knowledge.
Give you the real story?
The ultimate shortcut to being truly in the know about this show.
That's absolutely right. Because while the Bachelor franchise markets itself as this super glamorous whirlwind journey to find love,
Totally.
the reality for the people actually vying for affection, especially the contestants, it's incredibly structured, it's intensely demanding, and as we're going to uncover, often really surprising.
Forget the curated dates and the tearful moments for a sec. We're going to expose the hidden rules, the true, often unseen costs that come with being part of this whole machine. It's way more complex than just getting a rose.
Or even making it to the end, right?
Oh, definitely.
Yeah, we're talking about some real bombshells. Like, did you know the contestants don't get paid? Not a dime for their time. They're basically gambling their jobs, their money.
It's a huge financial risk.
Huge. Or the insane amount some people spend just to look good on camera. It's this hidden cost that can, push them right to the edge financially.
Mm-hmm. Astonishing amounts sometimes.
So what does all this mean for the love story we see? In this deep dive, we're going to systematically unpack the contracts, those hidden costs, the super strict rules inside the mansion, and what it truly means to chase love on reality TV, using everything from the sources you shared.
Drawing directly from contestant interviews, producer notes, all of it.
Get ready for some truly eye-opening stuff that might just change how you see the most dramatic season ever. Yeah, I think it definitely will.
Okay, let's unpack this first bombshell, because it's probably one of the most, counterintuitive things about the show.
It really is.
When you think of a big reality show like The Bachelor, you just assume everyone involved, especially people giving up weeks or months of their lives, is making some serious cash, right?
Yeah, you'd think so, especially if they become famous from it.
Totally. But here's the kicker. That's just not true for most of the people actually looking for love on the show.
What's really fascinating, and honestly kind of stark, is the massive difference in pay. So the lead, the bachelor or bachelorette, they get a pretty substantial salary.
Right.
But the dozens of contestants fighting for their attention, they get absolutely nothing.
Nothing, like zero.
Zero. No salary, no daily allowance, no payment at all for being on the show.
Okay.
And this isn't just a small detail. It's a huge personal financial investment for every single one of them. Basically a massive gamble.
Wow. A gamble on finding love or maybe, getting famous.
Probably a bit of both, let's be real. But the gamble part is key.
Yeah, gamble indeed. I mean, think about what that actually means in the real world.
Mm-hmm.
So many of these contestants have to quit their jobs or take long unpaid leaves, maybe put their own businesses on hold for weeks, maybe months if they go far.
And life doesn't stop.
Exactly. Their mortgages, rent, student loans, all those bills, they don't just vanish. They still have to pay for everything while they're off in this mansion.
It definitely puts a different light on why they might be so driven.
Right, totally. That financial pressure, feeling like you've put everything on the line, it must just crank up the stakes. Makes you kind of desperate to win, maybe not just for love, but to, justify the huge sacrifice.
Precisely. We heard from former contestant Ashley Iconetti. She confirmed this no pay rule. She really emphasized the personal sacrifice involved.
Yeah.
She explained that for most people, it's a decision to just completely turn their lives upside down, stepping away from any income for this really uncertain outcome.
And it affects them afterwards, too, right?
Oh, yeah. The ripple effects can last a long time. Take J.J. Lane, remember him, investment banker from Caitlin Bristow's season.
Vaguely, yeah.
He talked openly about struggling to get back into his field after the show. He found that employers kind of saw his reality TV thing as a distraction.
Oof. Like he wasn't serious anymore.
Exactly. It made them question his commitment to a normal career. It really shows the real career risks these contestants take, often with no safety net, no paycheck from the show to cushion the blow. It's a huge decision with real fallout.
Wow. So this really tough financial situation for the contestants is just miles away from what the star of the show
Oh,
gets.
absolutely. Night and day.
Let's switch gears then. Talk about the Bachelor or Bachelorette themselves. This is where the money actually shows up, right?
Indeed, this is where it gets interesting financially. The person chosen as the lead, they do get a significant salary.
How significant are we talking?
Our sources say it's typically a minimum of $100,000.
100 grand. Okay, that's more like it.
Yeah, and importantly, it's not usually a fixed price. It's often negotiable.
Ah, so they can bargain.
Definitely. It reflects the huge pressure and time commitment of being the absolute center of the show. Plus, their existing public profile brings value. If they're already known from a past season or have a big social media following, their negotiating power goes way up.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
So 100 grand is the base. We heard Jason Tartick and Colton Underwood were both offered that much,
Reportedly, yes.
but it can go higher. Like Emily Maynard, she got way more, didn't she?
That's the rumor. Emily Maynard, who was engaged to Brad Womack before becoming the Bachelorette, supposedly negotiated a massive $250,000 contract for her season.
Whoa, $250,000.
Yeah, after some pretty intense back and forth, apparently. It really shows the show's willing to pony up for leads they think will bring in viewers.
But it wasn't always like that, was it?
Not at all. It's actually fascinating how the pay has changed over time. In the early days, leads got way less.
Like how much less?
Well, Meredith Phillips, Bachelorette Season 2, reportedly got just $10,000 for the whole season.
10,000. That's crazy low compared to now.
Right, and Ashley Hebert, Season 7, around $30,000. So yeah, a huge jump to today's standard six figures. It shows how the value of the lead just ballooned as the show became this massive cultural thing.
Okay, so they get the cash. But there are perks too, right? Things that contestants definitely don't get.
Oh, absolutely. Beyond the money, the lead gets a whole support system. It creates this clear, two-tiered experience.
Tell us about the perks. Is it like a free limo ride?
Ha! Way more than that. They basically get a full entourage, a personal stylist who picks out their entire wardrobe for everything, dates, rose ceremonies, everything.
Nice. No stressful packing for them.
Nope. And a full glam team for hair and makeup. Always camera ready. That's a huge burden lifted compared to the contestants doing their own.
And I heard they get a producer who's kind of like a personal assistant.
Exactly. A dedicated producer who handles logistics, schedules, talks to their family if needed, basically looks after them. It lets the lead just focus on the journey and the drama.
While the contestants are fending for themselves.
Pretty much. Completely different worlds inside the same production.
So the lead's living the high life, stylists, glam squads, personal producers, big paycheck. Meanwhile, the contestants are unpaid, doing their own hair and makeup.
And stressing about money.
And that lack of pay means they carry this huge burden, especially with their appearance. You have to look amazing on camera when you're competing for attention, and apparently that comes with a surprisingly massive price tag.
A very hefty one. This is something that genuinely shocks people. Our sources are clear. Contestants are totally responsible for their entire wardrobe for the whole show.
Entire wardrobe, but every single outfit.
Every single thing. All those expensive gowns for rose ceremonies, outfits for dates that could be anything from hiking to black tie, plus just everyday clothes for hanging around the mansion. And it all has to look good on camera, constantly.
The pressure must be immense.
Unbelievable pressure. To stand out, look memorable, look perfect, it often pushes them to spend money in ways they just wouldn't normally.
I can barely pack for a week's holiday, let alone potentially months of filming where every outfit matters. I heard producers sometimes give out goodie bags. Does that help?
Sometimes, yeah, especially maybe in earlier seasons or for specific theme nights. But Jillian Harris said, in her experience, half the stuff didn't even fit right. Or worse, just wasn't their style.
So it doesn't really solve the problem.
Not really. The main responsibility, the bulk of the wardrobe, it's still squarely on them. And the stories about how much they spend are just staggering.
Like what? Give us the juicy details.
Okay, so Jillian Harris, again, she admitted she literally remortgaged her house and spent around $8,000 on clothes just for the show.
Remortgaged her house.
For clothes.
Yep. And then there's Olivia Caridi from Ben Higgins' season. The rumor is she spent an absolutely astounding $40,000 on her wardrobe.
$40,000. Are you kidding me? That's like a down payment on a house. Or a whole car, just for clothes for a TV show where you're not even getting paid. It's insane.
And there's no guarantee you'll even stay long enough to wear it all.
Exactly. It's a pure gamble. And we hear about others doing extreme things too, like literally cashing out their 401ks.
Their retirement savings.
Yeah, their long-term savings, often paying big penalties and taxes to get it early, or just going into serious credit card debt to fund the whole thing. They're betting their financial futures.
And isn't there some rule about luggage, too? Like, they can't bring much?
Yep. Another layer of challenge, there's a strict 2-suitcase limit. If you bring more, you pay an extra baggage fee.
So you have to cram potentially months' worth of diverse outfits, including formal gowns, into 2 bags.
It's a logistical nightmare. And another financial hurdle. It all adds up to this immense pressure and financial vulnerability just to get on the show.
Okay, so the money situation is intense, but the financial strain, that's just one piece of the puzzle. Once they actually get inside the mansion, it's a whole different world, super regulated and incredibly isolating.
It's not just about what you wear or spend. It's about what you can't do, what you can't access, and how that totally shapes your reality in there.
Right, so once they step into that mansion, one of the biggest rules kicks in immediately. You are completely cut off from the outside world.
Completely, like no contact at all.
Total information blackout. No personal phones, no internet, no TV, not even news about what's happening in the world. Gone. Confiscated.
Why so strict? I get preventing spoilers, but total blackout seems extreme.
Well, spoilers are a huge part, definitely. But it's also designed to keep them laser-focused on the journey. No distractions from life back home, no outside influences, just them, the lead, and the relationships forming in the house.
Okay, I see the production logic, but wow, imagine the boredom and just the psychological effect of being totally cut off.
It's huge. Former contestant Ashley Hunt talked about how they took their computers and phones on day 1. She said the boredom got so bad, she literally started running laps around the house just to do something. Running laps. It sounds like a sort of voluntary fancy prison where your only job is falling in love or creating drama.
It can feel like that.
Yeah.
This isolation, it definitely leads to boredom, but maybe more importantly, it seriously heightens emotions. Everything gets amplified.
How so?
Well, Tiara Lakowski from season 17, she said the rule was specifically to keep us from being distracted and focus on what we were there for, to meet our future husband. But when you're cut off from family, friends, your normal routine, with no way to just vent or process things normally.
They get stuck in your own head.
Exactly, or stuck in the house dynamics. Every little interaction, every look from the lead, every argument, it all becomes massively significant. It's like an emotional pressure cooker. It definitely fuels the drama we see.
So they're isolated, emotional, and I originally heard they couldn't even read a book or listen to music. That sounds unbearable.
Okay, so this is where it gets a bit murky, and maybe the rules have changed slightly over time. Some early reports did say no books or music, which sounds like total sensory deprivation.
Yeah, super harsh.
But later sources clarify it a bit. Bibles are definitely allowed, and apparently other printed content like books or journals can be brought in.
Oh, okay. So not a total book ban.
Seems not. Whitney Franzway from Nick's season mentioned bringing books and journals. And interestingly, she said they could listen to music in cars after filming Wrapped for the day.
Ah, so some limited access later on.
Yeah, and apparently there were occasional blackout days where they'd let them watch movies together. So it's not complete deprivation, but it's still incredibly controlled. The main goal is still to keep them focused inward on the show's dynamics.
Still a very tightly controlled environment.
Yeah.
And that isolation must feel even worse with the constant filming. And I heard this wild thing about the mansion having no air conditioning in California with like 25 people crammed in.
It sounds unbelievable, right? But it's true, and it's absolutely critical for production because of the mics. Contestants sign contracts agreeing to be audio and videotaped, potentially 204/7. And the key thing is, mics have to be worn pretty much constantly, from the moment they wake up to the second they go to sleep.
Capturing every single word.
Every whisper, every sigh. And air conditioning units, they make noise, a hum, the fan.
Yeah.
It interferes with getting that clean audio recording.
No way. So they sacrifice AC for audio quality.
Yep. Now imagine sharing a house, often in warm weather, with over 20 other women, no AC for weeks. The heat, the stuffiness, nowhere to really cool off.
It sounds incredibly uncomfortable.
It is physically draining, and it absolutely adds to the tension, the irritability, the drama. It's like this low-level physical stress constantly simmering.
No AC. That's dedication. But this brings up the whole 24/7 filming thing. Chris Harrison used to say there weren't hidden mics, that bathrooms were private, but the contracts say 24/7 filming. What's the real deal? Are they always being watched?
That's a good question, and there seems to be a slight distinction. We found this interesting insight from a Reddit user whose friend supposedly produced the show for years.
Okay.
They clarified that while ABC absolutely has the contractual right to film 234/7, and contestants agree to that, It's not quite like Big Brother with hidden cameras literally everywhere, recording constantly.
Why now?
Apparently, it's mostly practical. It's just too expensive and complicated to set up and tear down cameras constantly, especially with all the travel, like putting cameras in front of every single airplane seat or micing everyone perfectly in every private moment.
Logistics and cost.
Exactly. Though they did note that Bachelor in Paradise, which is filmed in one location without all the travel, supposedly does have way more fixed and hidden cameras.
Makes sense.
So for the main show, while maybe not every single second is caught by a dedicated camera, the potential is always there. And they are wearing those mics almost constantly. That feeling of always being on, plus the physical discomfort, no real escape, it definitely contributes to those high emotions and blow-ups.
Yeah, I can totally see how that would make people edgy.
Mhm.
And speaking of mics dictating things, this also explains that weird rule about food on dates.
Ah, yes, the infamous no eating on dates rule.
It looks so weird. They have these amazing romantic dinners set up, gorgeous food, and nobody touches it.
It's totally counterintuitive, isn't it? But yeah, contestants are explicitly told, don't eat the food during the date. It's purely for show, for the aesthetic.
Just props. But why go to all that trouble then? It seems kind of mean.
The main reason, again, comes back to the mics. Microphones pick up chewing sounds. And producers think that sounds, well, unattractive and distracting on TV.
Chewing sounds. Seriously.
Seriously. But it has real knock-on effects. Think about it. They're often encouraged to drink alcohol, which is always available on these long dates.
Mm-hmm.
But they're eating little or nothing, that combination. It can lead to getting tipsy faster, fatigue, dehydration, even sickness, and definitely heightened emotions.
Drinking on an empty stomach while trying to be charming on camera sounds rough.
Plus, some sources say there's pressure to just generally eat less to avoid looking bloated on camera. So the whole food situation during dates is pretty messed up. They're supposed to look romantic and relaxed, but they might be starving and tipsy.
That's wild. Did anyone ever, break the rule? Or find a way around it?
There have been workarounds. Jesse Palmer, when he was the Bachelor way back, apparently ate normally, so they kind of had to adjust for him.
Huh. Good for him.
And Sean Lowe wrote in his book that often food would be sent to their hotel rooms before the date, so they could eat off camera, then just pretend during the filmed meal.
Sneaky. A behind-the-scenes fix for a weird rule.
Yeah.
Okay, so no eating. What about intimacy? It is The Bachelor. Are there rules about hooking up before the fantasy suites?
Oh, absolutely. Big rules. The contracts are very clear. No sleeping with the Bachelor or Bachelorette before those official overnight fantasy suite dates near the end.
Okay, that makes sense for the show's structure.
And the rule also strictly forbids any romantic or sexual stuff with crew members. That's a huge no-no.
I bet. Easy way to get kicked off.
Instantly, immediate expulsion. Which, considering the environment, the isolation, the boredom, the free-flowing alcohol sticking to that rule can be challenging for people looking for a connection.
And hasn't someone actually been kicked off for breaking that rule with a crew member?
Yes, there's a very famous example, Rosalind Papa, season 14. She was booted off the show because she allegedly got involved with a crew member, Ryan Callahan.
And what happened to him?
He lost his job, too.
Yeah.
Big scandal. It shows just how seriously production takes that role. They need to control the narrative, keep the focus on the lead.
Wow. Okay, so strict rules on food, intimacy.
Yeah.
What about the dates themselves? I heard contestants basically have to do anything producers plan, no matter how crazy or scary.
That's another non-negotiable part of the contract. They agree up front to participate in any date activity.
Any. Like, even if you're terrified of heights and they want you to skydive.
You got to do it. Or you go home. We've seen some wild ones skiing down city streets in bikinis.
I remember that. San Francisco, right?
Yep. Or skydiving, cliff diving, weird group dates like wrestling or witchcraft ceremonies. If you refuse, say, because you have a genuine phobia, you're immediately removed from the show.
No exceptions for personal boundaries or fear.
Doesn't seem like it. Production needs the footage, the drama, the spectacle. Your comfort zone doesn't really factor in if it clashes with their plan.
Man, contractually obligated to be uncomfortable or terrified? What about just daily life in the mansion? Is it all luxury, waited on hand and foot?
Nope. Another dose of reality there. Despite the fancy house, contestants have to do their own chores, cooking, laundry, cleaning up. It's not a five-star hotel experience.
Keeps them grounded. Yeah.
Maybe. But also, producers are known to, let's say, encourage certain conversations in the house.
Encourage. You mean stir the pot.
Pretty much. They
Yeah.
might prompt people to talk about specific issues, confront someone, bring up drama. And because of the contracts, contestants have to participate in these filmed interactions, even if they'd rather avoid conflict.
So you can't just hide from the drama.
They essentially force you into situations designed to create it. You become a player in their manufactured narrative.
These rules, no eating, forced dates, manipulated conversations, it's all about controlling the story, isn't it? And that control starts way before filming with this intense vetting process.
Absolutely. Getting on the show isn't just about filling out a form. It's this incredibly rigorous, super extensive, and honestly pretty intrusive vetting process.
Why so intense?
It's all about control and protecting the production. They want to make sure they pick candidates who fit the story. They want to tell, specific types or archetypes. And crucially, they want to avoid any surprises, any skeletons popping out of the closet later that can mess up their planned narrative once filming starts.
Suitable candidates. What does that actually mean according to the rules? Beyond just being single.
Well, the basics are you got to be at least 21, a legal U.S. or Canadian resident with a valid passport that's good for a year, and able to travel freely, often including to Europe.
Okay, standard stuff.
Then it gets specific. No felony convictions in the last 10 years. No restraining orders against you unless you fully disclose it. And the single part is really defined. No marriage, obviously. But also no living with someone intimately and no monogamous relationship lasting more than 2 months in the past 2 years.
2 months, that's a very short window.
Right. They want people truly unattached. Also, no working for ABC or Warner Bros., and you can't be running for political office for a year after the show airs. Keep it clean. Keep it focused on romance, at least on paper.
So they're looking for a specific kind of single person, maybe without too much baggage or at least baggage they know about.
Yeah.
But it goes deeper, right? Into health and psych stuff.
Oh, yeah, much deeper. This is where it gets really personal. Selected contestants must undergo mandatory physicals, medical tests, and psychological exams.
Psych exams, wow.
Yep, plus comprehensive STD screenings, which, given the show's premise, maybe isn't totally shocking, but still very invasive.
Why all the medical and psych stuff?
The physical part is partly because some dates are really demanding. Extreme sports, travel, they need people in good shape. The mental evils, they're crucial. Production needs to know contestants can handle the intense pressure, the isolation, the emotional roller coaster. They're going to be pushed to their limits, as the requirements say.
They want to make sure they won't break. Or maybe that they'll break in a TV-friendly way.
Maybe the bit of both. They also do extensive camera tests to make sure people aren't camera shy, that they're okay with being constantly filmed.
That is a lot of sensitive info to hand over. And then there are the background checks. I hear they basically hire private investigators.
They do. It's not just a quick Google search. They conduct incredibly thorough background checks using PIs to dig up all the dirt.
All the dirt, like what?
Everything. What the show calls personal information, it's super broad. Detailed sexual history, any criminal records, even your personal views on things like politics and religion.
Wow. And what do they do with that info?
Here's the kicker. Contestants have to agree in the contract that any of this information might be revealed on the show, even if it's embarrassing, unfavorable, humiliating, or derogatory.
So they can just drop bombshells about your past on national TV.
They have the contractual right to. It gives production huge power over how contestants are portrayed, and it's a tool they can use to create drama or shape storylines.
And all this digging, this intense vetting, it's all done under wraps, right? Contestants can't even tell people they're applying.
Not a word. Strict confidentiality from day one. They sign hefty non-disclosure agreements, NDAs. Everything about casting, participation, show details, totally private.
That must be tough.
Super tough. Chelsea Roy mentioned how hard it was when she tried to get local sponsorships before filming. She couldn't tell boutiques why they should give her free clothes, just that they should trust her. It would be good exposure later.
So this whole intense secret vetting process just sets the stage for the show's controlled narrative.
Yeah.
Even what they say on camera is regulated.
Exactly. They've got their carefully selected cast vetted inside and out. Now, once filming starts, that control continues, especially around the biggest threat. Spoilers.
Oh yeah, spoilers would totally kill the suspense, especially for the finale.
They're the ultimate nightmare for a show like this.
Yeah.
Production goes to crazy lengths to prevent them. The final couple. After filming wraps, they often have to hide out in a secret safe house.
A safe house, seriously.
Yep. A secret place where they can meet up away from paparazzi, away from everyone, just to keep the ending a secret while the show is airing. It's a huge logistical effort just to protect the final reveal.
And if someone does leak the ending, the penalty is massive, isn't it?
Massive is an understatement. It's potentially life-ruining. The contracts apparently state a $5 million fine for revealing finale spoilers.
$5 million.
Yep. A massive, massive deterrent. It shows how much power production holds even after filming is done. And it's not just the finale they control, it's even the words they use.
Ah, right. This is that weird one. The banned word process. Why on earth is process forbidden? It seems so harmless.
It's fascinating, right? It shows how deeply they think about crafting the romance. According to Sean Lowe, if anyone said process, producers would stop them, make them retape it, and say journey instead.
Journey instead of process. Why?
Producers think process sounds too, clinical, too analytical, maybe too fake. It takes away from the romantic angle. But journey, that sounds epic, adventurous, emotional. It's better for TV.
Wow. Micromanaging vocabulary for branding. That's intense.
It really is. Sean Lowe said it was frustrating, like interrupting real conversations just to swap out a word.
And what about politics? Can they talk about that? Especially now when everything's so polarized.
Nope. Strictly forbidden on camera.
Why not?
Simple reason. It might anger viewers. The show wants the broadest possible audience. Politics is divisive. It could turn people off. It's an entertainment product first, romance second, and political discourse is bad for business.
So keep it light, keep it romantic, keep it non-controversial.
Yeah.
Unless the controversy helps ratings.
Exactly. Which brings us to the rose ceremonies. It's been rumored forever that producers influence who gets roses, right? That the lead isn't always making their own calls.
Is it just a rumor or is it real?
Oh, it's confirmed by multiple sources. Producers have a significant say in who gets roses. Sometimes, maybe even the final say.
Why would they do that? Isn't it supposed to be the lead's choice?
In theory, but in reality, it's driven by ratings. Producers will deliberately keep certain contestants around longer, usually the villains, the controversial ones, the ones causing drama.
Even if the lead doesn't like them?
Even if it seems totally illogical to the lead or the viewers. Why? Because those characters generate conflict, arguments, tears, all the stuff that makes the season more enticing to watch, as they say.
So they sacrifice genuine connection for manufactured drama.
Often, yes. It explains why sometimes you're watching and thinking, why is she keeping that person around? It's probably not the lead's decision alone. It's producer influence for ratings.
Classic reality TV. It's all about keeping eyeballs glued, even if it bends the reality. And this producer control, these contracts, they don't just end when the cameras stop rolling, do they? They affect contestants long after.
That's right. Let's talk about the big finale moment, the proposal, and those spectacular Neil Lane diamond rings.
The ring. Always a huge deal. They look incredibly expensive.
They are, valued anywhere from $50,000 up to $100,000. But here's the thing most viewers don't know. They aren't really gifts.
Not gifts. What are they then?
They're essentially conditional loans from the show, tied to a very specific condition.
Okay, what's the catch? If the fairy tale ending doesn't last.
There's a crucial clause in the contract. If the couple breaks up within 2 years of the season finale airing, they have to give the ring back.
2 years. Seriously.
Huh.
So it's not really theirs unless they stay together for 2 whole years after the show finishes airing.
Exactly. Jesse Singsack, who won Bachelor Season 4, confirmed it. He said they were told flat out, you have to stay together for 2 years if you want to keep the ring.
Even Chris Harrison hinted at some rule about it.
Wow. That adds a whole other layer of pressure, doesn't it?
Okay.
Are you staying together for love or for the six-figure diamond?
It definitely makes you wonder. And that ring clause, it's just one piece of the long-term control ABC keeps over these couples and contestants.
What else? Do they have other obligations after the show? Can they just go back to normal life?
Not really, especially not the winners or prominent contestants. They're usually contractually tied to ABC and Warner Bros. For about 12 months after filming wraps. Meaning they can't just jump onto another network's reality show or take other big media gigs during that time. It keeps their value tied to the Bachelor franchise.
Exclusivity, basically.
Yep. And the winning Bachelor or Bachelorette, they have to do a ton of promotional appearances as part of their salary deal. Interviews, events, network stuff, keeping them visible, promoting the show's brand. And what about that rumor that the final couple is sometimes pressured or even forced to pretend they're still together for appearances, even if they've broken up privately? Is that true?
It seems to be more than just a rumor. It's a confirmed expectation, often contractual. Producers absolutely expect the final couple to stay together for the fans until the finale and the reunion shows have aired,
Even if they hate each other by then.
even if they've split in real life. A former producer, Louis Fenton, reportedly said they're often required to pretend they're still madly in love in public. It's about maintaining the show's credibility, the magic for the viewers.
That seems awful, performing a relationship you're not even in.
And the consequences for not playing along are severe. If they start dating other people during that period, it's a breach of contract. They could face a massive lawsuit, potentially for $1 million.
$1 million penalty for breaking up too soon or too publicly.
It's a huge deterrent. Imagine the stress pretending to be in love while knowing a lawsuit hangs over you if you mess up.
Man, that really shows the pressure to maintain the illusion. So, okay, despite all this, the rules, the lack of pay, the pressure, the contracts, people still line up for this. Why? Is it just the hope of love, or is there something else? Where does the real payoff come?
This is the key. This is where the gamble can pay off, sometimes spectacularly. The biggest financial win from being on The Bachelor usually comes after the show, mostly through social media influencing.
Ah, the influencer route.
Exactly. It's wild. Even contestants who get eliminated pretty early, remember Grocery Store Joe?
Yeah, came back for Paradise, super popular.
Right. He and others like him can gain massive Instagram followings almost overnight, often with higher engagement than traditional celebs. That platform, that's the real prize for many.
So you don't even need the final rose to potentially strike gold. What kind of money are we talking for sponsored posts and stuff?
Serious money. It turns them into digital marketers. Someone with, say, 250,000 followers, they can easily get $1,000 for just one sponsored post.
$1,000 for one picture.
Yep. And the ones who hit over 1 million followers, like Becca Tilley, JoJo Fletcher, Caitlin Bristow, they can command $10,000 or more per ad.
10 grand for an Instagram ad.
Or more. Mediatix did some estimates suggesting that even lower-tier influencers from the show can pull in around $444,000 a year, the top-tier ones. Maybe between $888,000 and $1.33 million annually, just from sponsored content.
Whoa. Okay, that's a serious incentive. That's life-changing money.
It absolutely is. It's a full-blown career path now.
And we have real examples of this, right? People talking about what they earn.
We do. One former contestant said anonymously she got $4,000 for doing a 15-minute sponsored Instagram story that's like 5 to 7 quick posts. And she charged up to $9,000 for a main feed post plus a story.
$9,000.
And Caitlin Bristow kind of joked about it, but also made the point, getting paid serious cash to promote things like flat tummy tea or hair vitamins, it's lucrative, even if the products are mundane.
It's not just Instagram, right? There are other opportunities.
Definitely. Paid club appearances, getting cast on spin-offs like Bachelor in Paradise, where, importantly, they do get paid.
Let's talk about Paradise Pay in a sec.
Right. Also, hosting gigs, podcasts, even televised weddings. Remember Sean and Catherine Lowe?
Yeah, one of the few who actually lasted.
Their televised wedding, rumored to have come with a nice 6-figure paycheck from ABC.
So the show itself might not pay contestants, but it opens doors to potentially huge earnings later.
Yeah.
Now, back to Bachelor in Paradise. You said they do get paid for that. How does it work?
Yes, that's a key difference. Paradise contestants are paid. Usually it starts around $400 per day.
Per day. Okay, better than nothing.
Definitely. But crucially, that rate is negotiable. It depends on how popular you are, how much drama you might bring if you've been on before.
So bigger names get more.
Exactly. Like Katie Morton apparently got $10,000 for her time. Blake Horstmann, who was a big deal, reportedly got $16,000 for 20 days.
That's decent money for lounging on a beach.
And Dean Unglert, known for being pretty savvy, apparently negotiated his rate up from $400 to $600 a day. Shows you can leverage your position.
And influencing plays into this too.
Yeah, the rise of influencing actually gave contestants more bargaining power for Paradise. They started negotiating for permission to take brand deals sooner than they used to be allowed. It blurs the lines even more. Are you there for love or to build your brand? Paradise is often seen as a direct path to more influencing gigs.
Okay, so as we wrap up this really detailed deep dive, it's just crystal clear that the shiny surface of The Bachelor, all the romance and roses, it hides this incredibly complex, demanding, and often really financially risky reality for the people involved.
It's a meticulously engineered machine. We've seen the huge demands, the financial gamble of quitting jobs, paying for wardrobes, the intense isolation, the constant filming, often in uncomfortable conditions like no AC.
The weird rules about eating, the forced dates.
Right. The controlled interactions, the producer manipulation, the long-term contracts controlling their lives, their words, even who keeps the ring. And all that stands against the huge potential payoff later through fame and influencing. It creates this powerful, almost irresistible pull.
So what does this mean for us watching at home, for you listening? Is The Bachelor really about finding love? Or is it more of an, I don't know, no, intricate engine designed purely for entertainment, drama, and churning out new celebrities?
It definitely makes you look critically at how those behind-the-scenes pressures, the money worries, the isolation, the producer meddling might affect the authenticity of the love stories we see. How real can it be under those conditions?
It's hard to ignore how engineered it all feels once you know this stuff.
Which leads to this, I think, really fascinating final thought for you to chew on. Given everything we've talked about, the scrutiny, no pay up front, the invasive background checks, the forced drama, the long contracts, what does it really tell us about, well, human nature and the crazy allure of reality TV that so many people are still so eager, maybe even desperate, to sign up for that Bachelor journey?
Yeah. What drives someone to endure all that?
It's this strange mix, isn't it? Personal sacrifice, hoping for public adoration, maybe a fortune, and maybe, just maybe against all odds, that fairy tale ending they keep promising. It's quite the paradox.